Hello, everybody. Good morning to you this awesome Friday morning. My name is Ayodele-Bamisaiye of Dexteritas Professional Corporation. This mic has made up its mind to give me an interesting start today. But we'll get it right. We'll get it right. Yeah, I think I have it there now. Amazing. So I am here as I like to show up and just talk about things related to money and finance and wealth building. And that's because those are things that make for ease in life, right? Um, Part of what I've discovered is this my time here is that for things to get easy, you have to go through a process, and sometimes the process could be hard. And building wealth is a process. It's a process that requires work, effort, simple things over and over, snowballing, accumulating, becoming. But before we go into today's topic, I want to shout out to my friend and brother, Mr. Dennis Agbeha, who seems to have added another year to his years today. So, Dennis, thank you for everything that you do for the community. I see you, I recognize you, and I appreciate the light that you shine in the community while executing flawlessly as a professional. Yeah, today's that day. Have an awesome, amazing day. Fantastic. Okay, so what are we talking about today? Today's topic is something that's simple and boring. But guess what? I found out that the boring stuff works, right? It's the boring stuff that gets you the results. So today we're going to be talking about saving as a route to wealth building. I happen to live in Canada, and here savings accounts are really not a thing. When you hear about high interest savings account, most of the time it's something that pays you a return of between 4 and 5% if you're lucky, maybe less, right? That's how it works around here. So savings accounts are really not places where you keep money for growth. They are places that you keep money to be able to just set it aside from the regular swing of things. That's what you use savings accounts for around here. So why do savings matter? Why is it important to put money away? So the fact is this: when it comes to money and personal finance, we find ourselves in this place where you earn, which, by the way, is the most powerful, most important part of your wealth building journey. You earn, and then life says, hey, can I have some of that money? And if you don't build the habit of putting some of that money away, life takes all of it. Richie Slick, thanks for joining us. Happy to have you watching this live. I appreciate it. Life says, can I have some money? And you keep giving life from the money that you make. And if you don't stop, you're going to give away everything that you make over and over again. And when you give away everything, you have nothing left. Well, that's not where we want to be, right? We're not working to have nothing. We're working to have something. And the way you have something is you take some and put it away. Preferably somewhere where you do not have access to it readily, like a bank account that you don't have a card on, like a different bank from your regular bank where you pay all your bills from, like some people say, you know what, always have a stash of cash in your house just in case you have an emergency, like a $500, $1,000 somewhere locked away that you can just run, pick it up, and hit the road if it comes to that. But it's always start with something, put something away. Now, do you know that more than 70% of Canadians have less than $1,000 put away? Statistics say that the average Canadian is $300 emergency away, right, from everything falling apart. So the fact is, if you're going to build wealth, first you have to start by putting some money away. You have to start by putting some money away. That's the first step. That's the very first step. You earn money, then you put some money away before you start to spend money. So the concept of having a safety net, right, is part of what I'm drawing on when I talk about savings, because life happens, right? You have your regular bills. Richard Slick is asking me a question. How do you manage when the bills keep racking up? Well, first things first, when the bills keep racking up, you have to take a look at those bills and say, what do I need versus what do I want? We, as human beings, we have a general tendency to prioritize our wants over our needs. But the fact is, what you want will make you feel good for a while. What you need will keep you alive, right? So you need food, you need clothing, you need shelter. So you need to eat, you need a place to stay, and you need to cover up, that beautiful body that God has given you, right? Those are basic fundamentals. Then if you live in this part of the world, you need warm clothes for winter. You need a jacket that can survive, that can keep you warm in sub 20, sub 40 degrees, right? Sumisola, thanks for joining us. Omotiore, I greet you. Thanks for joining us here today. You need to be able to provide your basic fundamentals. So when you say the bills racking up, you start by looking at those bills and saying, is this where I want to be going? Am I doing too much? So I was talking about an emergency fund being at the starting point of saving, right? Life happens, you suddenly find yourself needing an extra $200,000-$400,000 in a month because you had a busted tire, or something happened to your car, or you had a pipe break in your house. Those kind of things happen. They happen from time to time. You can't avoid them. Setting some money aside to be able to take care of that without throwing your budget out of kilter is a great place to start. So the recommendation when it comes to saving is you start with an emergency fund. What does your emergency fund look like? An emergency fund simply says, hey, I know I spend $1,000 every month to cover my bills, to cover the cost of my lifestyle. So I have set aside between 3 and 6 months of costs and put them away in a savings account. And that is where I am not touching that money unless something happens to my source of income. So that money is not for vacation. That money is not for a night on the town. That money is not for you to fix your burst pipe. That money is for, I lose my job, I need to stay alive for 6 months. That's what your emergency fund is for. Now, when you've taken care of the basic trouble money, I call the first one, then you've taken care of the emergency fund, which is your 3 to 6 months of operating, then what else can we do with saving? The fact that you have money squirreled away and set aside means that you can also look at, how do I put my money to work for me? So that's when we start to look at, okay, what's the power? What can I do with the power of compounding, the power of compound interest, right? Compound interest gives you an opportunity to set aside $1 and get $1.10 back in 12 months. That's the general idea. The details depend on which financial institution you are talking to and where you are exactly in this journey. But the power of what the compounding does for you is that you have the opportunity, now that you have money set aside, for that money to grow using compound interest, i.e., you are not working for money. The money you have saved is working for more money, right? Now, We also need to balance this with our goals, right? You have things you want to do. Maybe you want to go back to school, get some more education. Maybe you want to buy a new house. Maybe you want to switch out your car for a newer, more reliable one, probably in the next 12 months to a year. You start to look at that and balance that as you are putting money away. So you're putting money away for your emergency fund, you're putting money away for your trouble money, then you start to look at, okay, what are the things I would like to achieve in life? And you're putting money away for that as well. So it just becomes a habit. You start to build a habit, you start to build the discipline of setting money aside because you find that that is beneficial to you in the long run. Now, what does saving get you in terms of the impact on your life? Number one, when you make a habit of saving, you develop what is known as discipline, the ability to say, I want to do this and I'm going to get it done. So you say, I'm saving $1 a month. No, don't save $1 a month, please. At a minimum, do 10% of what you earn, right? I'm saving 10% of my earnings. You take that 10% when the check comes in, take the 10% and put it in your dedicated savings account, and it goes there. And if it's going into an investment, it's going into an investment. If it's trouble money that you're starting with, they're fine. If it's emergency fund you're starting with, they're fine. But the fact is, you build the habit. You build the habit, and that's a habit that can be life-changing. Lifted 777 and Yeta 4492. Thanks for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you when we have these conversations. As I was saying, building a habit of savings allows you to also build what is known as discipline. Discipline is an attribute that cuts across all spectrums of life. And the more disciplined you are, the more you are used to saying things and doing them, the more you are likely to achieve in life and the further you are going to go. So it starts with you building. It's one of those things that helps you build discipline. Another thing that saving does for you is that it helps you to create financial stability. Because if you are saving, it means you have a budget. You know that, okay, I earn $10, I save $1, I spend $4 on this, $3 on that, $2 on the other, and then that's how my life runs. And you're used to doing life that way. So everything is kind of predictable, and you rarely find yourself in, dramatic situations where you're like, oh, I can't pay this bill, or, all those things kind of just start to fall away because you've created that stability by knowing how much you earn, how much you spend, how much you put away. Another thing I want to talk about is the impact of reduced stress. Now, because your life is predictable, you rarely you're going to find that high-strung, difficult, emotionally charged situations relating to money, they will not disappear, but they will reduce considerably in your life. And because of that does you good, because it's heart health is important, right? You feel better because you are less stressed. You look better because you are less stressed, right? So reduced stress is an amazing benefit of learning to put money away. And the last one that I want to draw attention to is one that I've actually mentioned briefly earlier on, and that's the fact that you suddenly have opportunities, right? You suddenly have opportunities because you have extra cash and you are looking around saying, okay, what can I do with this money to grow more money? Somebody comes and says, oh, I have a business idea. You don't give your money to your savings to every business plan. No. I repeat, no. The only business plans that get your money are the ones where you are able to do the due diligence, i.e., there are financial projections or existing financial statements. The person that you're talking to is somebody that you know and trust, or you know and trust somebody that they know that has brought the deal to you, right? So you start to get into all sorts of amazing opportunities in different facets of life because you are able to set some money aside, right? Now, what are the things that you can do to start saving or to enhance your savings? Like everything else, start with a goal. You start with a goal. You always start with a goal, right? So what kind of goal are we talking about? Tell yourself, okay, you know what? I'd like to have $1,000 put away just in case something goes south. Something happens to my car, something happens to my house. Something happens back home. I need to send money home. Be careful about that though. I want to have $1,000 set away for that, right? So if you tell yourself that, you create a goal, then you follow through on that goal, right? Follow through on the goal and say to yourself, because what I found out is saying that you want to save for a rainy day sometimes is not motivating. Think about it as peace of mind money. You know, you want to be able to have peace. You don't want to be stressed. There's something that having cash, extra cash in the bank does to you, that you're just calm, right? So call it peace of mind money and say you want to set aside $1,000 for peace of mind money. And then when you hit $1,000, you can say, okay, I want to grow my peace of mind money to about 5,000. And you just keep growing it little by little, right? You're not stressing about it. There will be stress at the beginning because this is a change in how you do things. This is a turnaround in your habits, right? So that initial stress will be there. However, that change is something that will benefit you in the long term and take away a lot more stress down the road, which means it is worth your while. So what's my call to action to you today? What am I asking you to do? I'm saying, hey, take a look at your financial situation. And if you haven't started doing something about savings, well, Ayodele-Bamisaiye is asking you to check it out. Make a goal. Take action. The year is young. There's lots to be done. There's lots of opportunity coming down that will come your way. And part of the way you take opportunity is that you are prepared. Sometimes all you need is an extra $1,000, right? So that's pretty much all I have for you this morning. Like it's been said, the stories of wealth building. One of the most amazing books I've read in the past is Secrets of the Richest Man in Babylon. That entire story, it's clear that money doesn't grow on trees. It flows in networks. It flows in networks, and all you are doing is building a little pipe into your own savings account. So don't make sure that your money that's flowing to you is staying, some of it is staying with you and making you more of who you want to be. Make sure that as you go out there, put in the work, you're building a career, you're building a business, you're running an enterprise, you are building wealth for yourself and your generations coming after you. So that's about it this morning. My name is Ayodele-Bamisaiye of Dexteritas Professional Corporation. I'm always excited to come here and talk about all things money and finance, and today is no exception. 2025 January is coming to an end. There's just one more Friday left. The year is off to the races. There's no waiting. There's no taking any more time. So let's get going. I wish you an amazing Friday. Enjoy the rest of the day, and bye for now.